Now to get things started, I want to introduce you to the co-host of my tour and the host of The Tonight Show, and that's my jam on NBC, Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guy, Perry, and the greatest driver, Dean. Even though Perry owes me $5. Oh man. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules. Thanks, Jimmy. We do have a few safety rules to go over. If you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if there are any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. During the entire tour, please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use the red cord above your head if you need any assistance. The studio is private property. If at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord, but remain seated. Please no smoking or vaping of any kind during the tour. Be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You want to have your cameras out for all the great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for the safety of for yourself and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on board. Now, as we leave the theme park behind and head down into the active studio, on either side of us is our timeline, representing hundreds of years of filmmaking. Just a small example of some of the thousands of films we've made since we opened our gates back on March 15th, 1915. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, wanted to make something he called the strangest city in the world. So he founded Universal City, a city entirely devoted towards filmmaking. Now I did not make a mistake. He did try to make a city. We have a sheriff's office, medical facilities, our own firehouse coming up on your right-hand side. That is not a set, that is an actual firehouse. We also have dry cleaners, and the only thing that we don't have that you have at your own city back home are residents. Nobody lives here at Universal City. It's just workers making an effort to make the best we can in television and film production. Here's the firehouse now. Again, that is not a set, that is an actual firehouse with real American heroes working there. It is named in honor of Firehouse 51 for the hit show Emergency back in the 70s. Also, that's the firehouse in Chicago FD, if you follow NBC's dramatic series. We started on this lot with only 200 acres. We now have over 400 acres, making us one of the largest television and movie studios in Los Angeles. There is a great deal of demand for television and film production, so we're constantly expanding. You'll notice some of the expansion on our left coming up as we enter into the front lot. Now, the front lot is where we have our administrative offices, many of our editing and film suites, and most of our 36 sound stages. The biggest and oldest of which is Soundstage 12, coming up on our left as we're repainting the Voice logo because the Voice has moved back to our back lot. Here's a small example of some of the things that have filmed on Soundstage 12 over the years. Now the image on your screen is what the soundstage looks like before we put any scenery or lights inside. It's a big padded studio, big padded warehouse, almost 98% soundproof. We want to be able to control the environment where we film because of the sensitivity of our recording equipment, particularly audio. We want to make sure we deaden that sound, and because of the lighting, we can record anytime, day or night. On the sound stages surrounding us right now, that's the home of Grand Crew, the hit NBC comedy, Hacks, the HBO Max series starring two-time Emmy Award Gene Smart, and Bel Air, the dramatic retelling of the 90s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel Air on Peacock. All three of those shows are produced in cooperation with Universal Television. Coming up on our left, our second largest soundstage, Soundstage 14, home to TV shows like AP Bio, The Mindy Project, and Superstore.
They do that in there. A lot of the interior shots.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act. If your face stays where it is, it's going to get punished.
Now, that was shot entirely on inside our set right there. NBC has a long history of producing television, more than 80 years. We started with the very first transmission, our very first transmission, of the opening ceremonies of the 1939 World's Fair, back when there were only 200 televisions in existence. We've gone on to produce a great many classic and popular television shows through the years, right here on these sound stages that we're passing through right now. Now we're coming upon our very first celebrity sighting, right ahead of the tram on the left. That's Ted. Ted the teddy bear, toasting us because he's just gotten his own TV series. That's right, on Peacock, coming later this year from executive producer Seth MacFarlane. Based a prequel series based on those hit movies. And this begins our production bungalows on your left-hand side, these low brown buildings. Once upon a time, were dressing rooms during the classic days of Hollywood, the golden age. When we had contract players on the lot, these were dressing rooms for stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, acting legend Jimmy Stewart. Nowadays, they are production offices to Hollywood's best and brightest. Amy Pascal Productions, the production company behind the Venom films and the most recent Spider-Man films, 7 Bucks Productions, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's production company behind the TV show Ballers and Young Rock. And as we peek around this corner right here, you'll see a green and silver globe with the Wicked logo on it. That's Mark Platt Productions. They're busy in approaching beginning production of the Broadway translation, cinematic translation of the Broadway hit show Wicked, starring Ariana Rebo and Cynthia Erivo and Aria Hernandez. I'll get all the words together at one point. Now this is right here, up on our left-hand side. That's Soundstage 25, where they're currently filming Lopez versus Lopez, keeping a sharp eye out for any indication that they're filming right now, because that means we have to quiet up pretty quickly, but they must be on a little break. It's getting to be lunchtime later in the day. Now we're right at the end of our front lot and approaching the beginning of our back lot. The front lot has facilities and sound stages mostly for interior shooting. The back lot, where we'll spend most of the rest of our tour, is where we have large-scale exteriors for outdoor shooting. The first of these outdoor exterior sets, in front of the tram, right to our left, is metro sets, where we can create any city in America, any city in the world that we want, any city state, especially, and most importantly, New York City. Oops.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And now from the concrete jungle of the metro sets to the equatorial jungle of King Kong. Here is Oscar Award-winning director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up into the Kong literally does it. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character's personality, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster, though he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Keep a firm grip on your belongings and remain seated at all times. Keep those 3D glasses handy. We'll need them later in the tour. I'll let you know when. That epic battle we just witnessed was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens. Standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide, utilizing some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. The film was designed by Peter Jackson and the team at FX. In fact, the filmmakers at Weta have won 7 Academy Awards and worked on such films as King Kong, The Jungle Book, Avengers Endgame, Avatar, and The Lord of the Rings. The audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking at all directions. There's creatures coming in, and you're seeing Kong from this side, and T-Rex is from the other side. But working on a movie, they always know what people are looking straight ahead, they're looking at the shot that we're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island, think where the tram is from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We really created about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pictures, and presenting it to the audience, it's a hell of a ride. Now that moment when our tram was pulled up onto the screen, it became what we called in the industry a picture car. Any vehicle we see on screen is a picture car, motion picture car. And we have quite a collection of picture cars here on the lot, and we're going to be showing some of them to you. Now, picture cars can convey a lot more than just, or be used a lot more than just a conveyance for a character. They can be used to demonstrate character, status, and what the character needs and wants. And here we have some of our favorite picture cars. American Graffiti, Magnum PI. Look at the design of these picture cars from Back to the Future 2, conveying this fantasy future of 2015. Or speaking of a fantasy future or past, how about the Flintstones cars? My favorite is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the Ford Anglia. Some vehicles from Jurassic Lost World. And these two from Jordan Peele's hit movies, Nope and Us. Now you'll notice this infantry vehicle, fighting vehicle from Transformers, it appears to be steel and rivets. It's actually just plywood and plastic. And now I have a gentleman who'd like to say hello.
Yeah, but I came out 2022.
What? To Jurassic Park. That's right, Jonathan. Welcome to many of the original set pieces and picture cars and props from the original Jurassic Park series. The mobile lab, and many of the dinosaur cages, which, Dean, I'm not seeing our dinosaurs. This is concerning. Have they escaped? Nope. Everybody better be on the lookout for these dinosaurs. Oh my goodness! Now let's look at how that mobile lab was used in Jurassic Park: The Lost World. You'll see how rain is a real part of this shot, communicating foreboding and a sense of danger. How do we get rain, the practical effect of real water, to appear on cue? when we need it for our filmmaking? Well, we're going to demonstrate that for you right now. Here's a little practical effect of sound and lights. Let me turn this on right now. A little sound and lighting effect to convey a sense of foreboding. There we go. Lightning, thunder. Now we'll just turn on the rain for our advanced sprinkler system. 1, 2, 3. Now, depending on how you hold your camera, it's going to look like a torrential storm, or it'll look like we're watering the lawn. Just catch the sprinklers in the shot. We're fishing on a warm day like today, but probably time for us to turn it off. Let me just find that off button over here. Where is that off button? Oh no, we've left it on too long. Brace yourselves. Now let's see how we can use this practical set and effects in a film. There's our screen. Flash flood. Now that's a stunt, Paul Giamatti. No actual Paul Giamattis were injured in the filming of Big Fat Liar. And now we cross the border from Old Mexico into the Old West. Welcome to Six Points, home of our very historic Western sets. Used recently in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. These famous old sets have been in use for almost 100 years. Take a look. Now, our founder, Carl Laemmle, started the tradition of inviting the public to witness filmmaking way back in the silent era in the 1910s and 20s. We keep up that tradition today with inviting the public to come and witness our filmmaking and television making with being our studio audiences as we turn right here. On your left-hand side, you'll see soundstage 34, 30, and 31, home to The Voice, where they're currently filming season 23. And in front of those sound stages, on your left-hand side, historic Park Lake, home to The Creature from the Back Lagoon. Park Lake was also the site of our lavish musical way back in 1936, Showboat, directed by James Whale. He's a name you'll want to remember because he directed many of our big monster epics, Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, That Old Dark House, Bride of Frankenstein. And most of those monster movies were shot or started right at our next location, Little Europe. From the 1920s to the 1950s, Universal Studios became known as the Monster Movie Studio. We could make Little Europe look like anything. Transylvania for Dracula, Egypt for The Mummy, or even The Afterlife for our hit NBC comedy, The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstroke, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
You might also recognize this setting as Genovia from The Princess Diaries 2, or the fairy tale kingdom in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring Whitney Houston and Brandy, or most recently on The Mysterious Benedict Society on Disney+. Coming up on our right-hand side, the Court of Miracles, the site of the 1923 epic The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Monster movies everywhere.
Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
It's still ringing in our memories now. We love them.
We're now approximately halfway through the tour, so I just want to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property. If you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention and I'll be back to assist you, but please remain seated on the tram at all times. One of my favorite stories about those old monster movies is how we cast the role of Frankenstein's monster. It was originally offered to Dracula, the actor playing Dracula, Bela Lugosi, but he refused, saying any extra could play this part, and the part ended up going to an actor who had previously only been playing extras and bit players, Boris Karloff. And for the rest of his career, Bela Lugosi played second banana. Ooh. Now, we have something, this doesn't happen every time. Dean is able to get us onto a hot set where they're actively filming. You'll notice this set is all set up for, it looks like an interior of a BART station. BART being the Bay Area Rapid Transit up in San Francisco. Looks like they're shooting some kind of disaster moment. The crew seems to be on break, so please keep your hands on all your belongings. You don't want to leave anything behind on a hot set. You can see how the set is dressed with sort of slightly period and like some of the maybe 80s or 90s, with some older billboards and certainly payphones. When's the last time you saw a payphone? 1995? this. Let's look how they reported that set on a recent episode of Bones for Fox Television.
On a beautiful sunny day like today, I think it's time to grab our swimsuits and head to the beach. What do you say? Let's head to Amity Island. Looks like the police divers are in the water. Oh no, I don't think they see that fin.
Get that man out of the water! Now!
He's got a lot of guys being in the water right here.
Clear the area! Repeat, clear the area!
That shark is fake, right? Why did I hear so much screaming? We saw a mechanical shark, Bruce, from the Jaws trilogy. Apparently that original shark sank to the bottom of the ocean on the first day of filming, prompting the crew to name the troubled production Flaws.
That's a much maligned shot. The shark is frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The sharks were well enough. For a while there, had been some help. So we know the shark a lot.
If our Shark Harbor looks familiar to you, you might recognize it from their 12 very successful seasons of Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. Now coming up on our right-hand side, our chicken ranch, which is a great example of a practical set, meaning it's not just an exterior that we use for the front, we can use the inside, upstairs, downstairs. It was used recently in an episode of Quantum Leap, starring Richard Lee as Dr. Ben Saw. Ranch is the beginning of our residential area, which we also call Colonial Street, which you might recognize as Wisteria Lane, and also Davy's house from Never Have I Ever on Netflix. Now, look on our right and left-hand sides, you'll see a whole lot of nothing, and that's because we're on Wilderness Road. Now, why would we need a whole lot of wilderness, 80 acres to be exact, in the middle of downtown Los Angeles? It's because sometimes the script demands that the character be in the middle of nowhere, and here we have facilities, security, a bathroom nearby for actors in production to use that we wouldn't have in the actual wilderness, along with a lot fewer wild animals. It was used recently as an overturned limousine for an episode of 911 on Fox Television starring Angela Bassett. Speaking of picture cars, our picture card collection has gotten so big, we can't keep them all in one place. So coming up on your right-hand side, some more picture cars. Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper, Bumblebee from Transformers, and quite a collection of cars from Fast and the Furious. Dom Toretto's Black Dodge Charger. Wow. And now we're headed off the freeway to a little out-of-the-way hotel with 12 cabins and 12 vacancies. It's the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. It looks like Norman Bates is a little occupied right now. Maybe we can get his attention.
No, we're not.
Maybe we don't want to get his attention.
Mother!
Oh, snap.
This does not look good.
She did.
You gonna jump?
You do not want to come over there.
There's one of you. And like 100 of us.
This 50 years, you gonna kiss till.
Be careful in the back. I think he's a runner. One of my favorite stories about the filming of Psycho, perhaps the most famous scene from that movie, the shower scene, is a scene that Anthony Perkins wasn't even in. He was on Broadway performing in Look Homeward Angel at the time that they shot that scene on Soundstage 16 up in our front lot. It's his stand-in who's performing the role of Mother in that famous scene. And now from one of our oldest standing sets in Hollywood to perhaps one of the most impressive. Here is War of the Worlds by Steven Spielberg.
The airplane that crashed the site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Steven. You forget to sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the set was everything right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good at the part. You can push your eyes. Listen, close your eyes. Down first.
When we got out, they had about 50 little Chuckies. Yeah, get out.
What you see in front of you is an actual Boeing 747 purchased for $60,000 from a decommissioned plane yard out in the Mojave. Then they chopped it up into pieces and brought it here on flatbed trucks, charging the production company for $200,000. I guess they always get you in shipping and handling. Universal's had the pleasure of collaborating with many generation-defining directors like Steven Spielberg, and we continue that tradition with Academy Award-winning director Jordan Peele, because the next set we're about to witness is his actual set, Jordan Peele's set from his latest sci-fi epic, Nope. Here's Mr. Jordan Peele.
I didn't know they filmed part of it.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking retro and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Right. A little further down, you can see a brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live. Anyway, behind this hollow, lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of no.
I think we ought to take his advice and get out. Now we've learned all about how we make movies. I think it's time for you folks to be in a movie. And here to tell you all about it, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out.
Keep a firm hand on your belongings and remain seated at all times.
My name is Robert Pierce. Pleased to meet you. I'm wanting Hobbs to access a statue of Shaw for a while. Brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you there.
This is what we doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Bill?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got you. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
My Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. We're welcome to join our crew anytime.
For over 100 years, Universal Studios has been thrilling audiences all over the world by making them laugh, cry, or sit on the edge of their seats. We're all part of a huge filmmaking family here in Southern California, made up of thousands of artists who put in countless hours both in front and behind the camera. And to bring these amazing stories to life on screen. We're nearing the end of our tour, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on the world-famous studio tour. To our annual pass holders, thank you for joining us. If you're not an annual pass holder, head to the Universal box office to learn how you can upgrade today's admission towards becoming an annual pass holder so you can come back again and again. Make sure you download the Universal Studios Hollywood app where you can learn about today's park hours. Tonight we close at 10. Updated show times, don't miss Waterworld. I think the dark arts are tonight too. And where you can learn about line and attraction wait times. Also, you can get information and details how you might be able to visit Super Nintendo World. To purchase any of the NBC Universal movies and TV shows you've seen and heard about on today's tour, visit uphe.com or ask today at one of our retail stores. On behalf of our driver Dean and myself, your guide Perry, we hope you enjoyed your exclusive behind-the-scenes Hollywood experience and enjoy the rest of your day at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. And that is a wrap. But before we go, here's a little preview of our latest big blockbuster, Mario Brothers.
The core elements in Nintendo's game franchises lend themselves to become a really fun movie for audiences who have never even seen a game. The way we've approached this film is to make the film for fans. We've made a commitment to a film that really honors this incredible game. It's a great, fun experience at the cinema.